friends. Let's talk about commitment. Not the kind that you can make with wine in your hand, okay? But or on a Sunday night or maybe on a Tuesday. I'm talking about real soul deep commitment to, and you can think about this two ways, to something in your life that no longer serves you, or to stop over drinking. And there are lots of different measurements about what over drinking looks like, right? You have to decide what that is for you. So if over drinking could be one drink for one person, and that's simply because they're over drinking that one drink because they're worried about someone else, because they feel guilty for not drinking with another person. It might be 10 drinks. It might be a bottle of wine every night, like smashing out a couple of bottles of wine every night or every couple of nights. So your over drinking is completely up to what you determine it to be. So you measure that, right? So it's good to know. But today I want to talk about commitment. And when we say that, like when shit gets hard, right? When you feel stressed out, when you feel lonely, when you're bored, or when you just feel like you want to escape from life. The old commitment is to use alcohol as a way to unwind. That just feels like it's the right thing to do. It feels like the normal thing to do, right? I remember years ago, and this is kind of, again, that whole thing about commitment, not just about over drinking, but sometimes it's the commitment to believe new things, or the commitment to unlearn things that we've learned. I remember years ago, so I was 27, I was pregnant, and my ex told me that I should quit smoking. So I was a smoker right up until literally a couple of years ago when I quit drinking too. And I remember telling him, like, I don't know whether I actually told him out loud, I probably did, because that's kind of my jam. But I remember saying, don't try to change me. And in my head, I just had this, like, I want to feel like resistance to change. I was so adamant that don't try and change me. I don't want to change. And that became my inner mantra, was that it was like some rebel badge of honor. There was a part of me who was still 15 years old, who hated to be told what to do, who smoked because she loved to piss off her mother, just to get attention, right? Which was actually a deep-seated core belief of not being lovable, not being loved, and really just crying out for attention, for the love. So, bit of a rabbit hole with that one. But really what I was committed to was I was committed to being right. I was committed to being comfortable. I wasn't committed to the growth, and I could not see that. Again, I had my blinkers on, right? And it's the same with drinking. So I want you to check in with yourself today. What is the reason you want to stop over drinking? What is that one, what is the reason you want to stop that one drink, or that 10 drinks, or that one bottle, whatever it is? Is that reason compelling enough to carry you when you want to quit? I think that's a really interesting question. Not so much the compelling part, but the one, is it enough to carry you through when you want to quit? Are you willing to give up what we call buffering in coaching world, which is the escape? Are you willing to give up the buffer, the escape, the normal social rituals in exchange for, and I kid you not, what feels like true freedom? Freedom from something that literally has been a weight on your shoulders or a chain around your ankle. That's what freedom feels like for me, right? And I claim myself as a freedom seeker because that's all I've ever wanted. My theme song when I was 15 was I Want to Break Free by Queen. Makes sense, hey. But here's the kicker. Are you willing to feel worse before you feel better? And that's what most people aren't willing to feel. We don't want to feel like shit. We don't want to feel like shit on purpose. But the key to growth is discomfort. Any new comfort zone that we're going to step into comes with discomfort. So the quicker we get the shit like on the road, let's get discomfort on the road, the quicker we can get to the other side. Are you willing to go through that messy middle the cravings, the FOMO, the awkward social stuff, and still keep going. Because that is the commitment to believe new things about yourself, the commitment to believe new things about you being able to do hard things, the commitment to believe that you will figure this shit out, right? That is commitment. It's not perfection. It is messy. It is ugly. It's not white knuckling, but it is a willingness. Sometimes we're just committed to the wrong things. And I say wrong things, right? Well, the things that no longer serve us. What if you're committed to, like, this commitment, you're saying to yourself, I don't want to be different. What if you do want to be different? But there's just a part of you that doesn't know how to do that safely. What if you started telling yourself that it's not true that I deserve to drink? What if that's just not true? Sneaky thought slips in there. I deserve to drink. It's not true. What if you believe that just because everyone else is doing it, you don't have to? Just look at the ways that our brain tries to trick us into believing that that thought is real. It is just not. It is not true. So what if your power and willing to be wrong about all of it? About what you currently believe, about what you currently believe to be true about your life, about what it means to be an over-drinker. What if you're just not meant to be normal, right? What if you're meant to walk a different path? What if you're meant to chase your freedom, whatever that looks for you? I think we're sold the story that when we commit to something, like we commit to being a drinker, that's our life. That's who we have to be for the rest of our lives. It's total and utter bullshit. You can change your life whenever you're ready. You just have to have a commitment to believing that you can, and then the willingness to actually go through the shit in the messy middle and make the change. That is the secret sauce, my friends. You are allowed to choose a new commitment. Oh my gosh. And you can do that today. You can do that right now. A new choice. One that's really rooted in how you want to feel. That soul deep commitment to yourself. I want to be a better role model for my children. I want to be a better person. I want to be a better human. I want to stand in integrity with my values. What is the commitment you want to choose today? One that honors your future self, right? Your future self is not sitting over there going, hey, shall we get drunk today? Your future self is like, holy shit, there's so much more to see out there. Let's go traveling. Let's have a really good relationship. Let's sort out our money shit. Let's leave that crappy job. Let's leave that crappy relationship. It is screaming to you silently, very nicely, compassionately, of course. There is something more waiting for you, my friend, and it is not found at the bottom of a bottle or at the bottom of that one glass. So what if you could commit to something new when you tell yourself this new story about, I've got me, even when it's hard. I'm not here to escape anything. I'm here to be present with myself. That is superpower, my friends. So if you're ready to write a new commitment, DM me the word commitment. I can send you a couple of journaling prompts that I give to my clients. No fluff, just real questions that create real change. Because when we ask better questions, we get better answers from ourselves. All right, friends, that's what beautiful gem I've got for you today. Have an amazing day.